International medical graduates usually have some limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are things that hold you back from living the best life that you can live because you subconsciously have these beliefs about yourself, and so you're putting yourself down in certain ways. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing 5 limiting beliefs that I think a lot of IMGs have and ways to overcome them for success. My name is Sisi and I'm a Ugandan medical doctor working in the UK, and I feel like I'm living my best life both personally and also professionally. I feel like I'm doing everything that I want to do, I'm achieving all the goals that I set out for myself, and I'm really living to my fullest potential. And I feel like something that really helped me was having therapy in my personal life. So I did have therapy, and that would be another story for another day. But this therapy was life-changing because I realized I had so many limiting beliefs as a person, and I feel like a lot of these might be shared by you, so do comment below if you think that you relate to any of these. And I think that when you realize what these beliefs are and you start to fight against them, then you're able to have a better life. The first limiting belief is that my qualifications are not really valued in the UK. Just because I went to some medical school elsewhere, I might not be as good as someone who went to the medical school here. This is a belief of feeling like you're not good enough, but I would like to encourage you that yes, you are good enough, and definitely your medical training is just as good or even better, to be honest, in some cases, to the medical training in the UK. So for instance, you know, in the UK, you can't do like a C-section until you're like in way much more advanced training. Back in Uganda, we can do C-sections even as early as internship or as soon as you finish medical school. In 5th year of medical school, some people are assisting in C-sections, so we get so much more exposure, especially to surgical skills, because of the way our systems are set up. So your medical training is that good, so it's good enough. And if you feel like maybe it's just not good enough for the UK, well, first of all, they take us through a very intense, rigorous process, like all these exams, PLAB 1, PLAB 2. By the time you go through all these exams and you've passed them, it means that yes, you are good enough to be here. So remind yourself that anytime you feel like maybe you're not good enough to be at your job. Another limiting belief is my English is not good enough. So your English is definitely good enough. I don't even know why they make us do all these language exams, especially if we were colonized by the British, and so they made us learn their language, and now English is even our official language. So it's like, are they trying to see how well colonized we are? What is that about? I really think it's not fair, but in the meantime, before we have rules have been changed, you have to follow them. So by the time you've done your English exams, you've passed your English exams, then your English is good enough. So as long as you're being understood, then it's fine. You should just be more confident and keep talking, because people will understand you. And if they understand you, then it's fine. That means it's good enough. So maybe people might be saying pardon a few times, but it doesn't really matter. So just remind yourself that your communication is good enough because you did all these exams and you passed them, and you're here and you deserve to be here, and they are lucky to have you because you're here saving the NHS in some way, because if you weren't here, it would collapse, and also saving people's lives. Another limiting belief is that I won't pass the exams. So if you already believe that you won't pass the exams, so this could be the exams of even just coming to the UK, like the license exams, like the PLAB and the IELTS and all that, or even the other exams when you come and you start your training. So for example, the exams for the Royal College exams of whatever specialty you're doing, or even those like the MSRA exam for going into specialty training. If you already believe in your mind that you're not going to pass the exams, then you're not going to pass the exams. But if you change your mindset and know that I can do this, I can pass these exams, look at your entire history as a doctor. From when you were little, you've probably been passing exams, probably much more than the average person. So if you find that you're struggling with exams right now, try and consider whether could this be a mindset shift that's coming up, or something has come back that has knocked your confidence. And remember who you are. Remember that you're a bright person and you can pass these exams. And even though you fail them a little bit once in a while, eventually you'll pass them. So keep on going. If you like this video up to this point, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps support my channel. Thank you. Another limiting belief is that I won't fit into the UK healthcare system. So if you feel like you won't really fit in, then you probably won't, because you feel like you won't fit in. So in order to feel like you fit in, look around at other people who are not from here and yet they fit in. Personally, I am a Ugandan medical graduate and I feel like I fit in quite well. I have taken up the space that I feel like I deserve to take up the space. Look at other people like me and other people who you feel like are inspiring you. If I'm inspiring you, I don't know if I'm inspiring you. Let me know below. I might be assuming, but basically, look at others who have gone before you and they're doing quite well, and then be inspired that you also can be like that. And I'm not going to lie, it takes time. Like, I did not come in and immediately feel super confident. I did have all these limiting beliefs. I did feel a little bit unsure of myself, but with time I feel like I'm flourishing. I am doing everything that I would love myself to do, like what I loved myself to do previously, and I know you can do it too. So please don't limit yourself that because that you feel like you can't fit in. Yes, you can fit in. You can be a leader even in the workplace, and do go out there and do it all. The next limiting belief is that I will face discrimination or racial bias in the workplace. So going in believing that you're going to face this, I think, is not always helpful. It's good to be aware that it's there, yes, but don't constantly be looking out for it, because then you're going to start seeing it everywhere. A way to overcome this is to, number one, familiarize yourself with the employment law. Familiarize yourself with like the law on discrimination, because number one, for example, racist is illegal. So if anyone does anything that is overtly racist, find out who you can report them to. Those guardians of safe working who you can report something to anonymously, or you can tell there's always someone above someone. Like, no one is the maximum, especially in the NHS. Maybe if you're like employed by maybe even a private company, but even then in the UK, there's always someone you can report someone to. So knowing that there are these laws that are there to protect you, and it's up to you to be able to maybe be reporting if you feel like you've been discriminated against, that should make you feel more confident, instead of being like scared and not actually being the best that you can be because you're worried that they're discriminating against you. Just know what the laws are, know who you can report to in case of anything, and that should be helpful. Another limiting belief is around money. If you've limited yourself to the amount of money that you think you can make as a person, then that's obviously going to affect how much money you actually make, because if you've limited yourself, you won't even try to make even more. In this video here, I shared ways that you can make even more money as a doctor in the UK.